It's that time again. It's silk press season. Today I'm going to show you how I get my hair to look just like this and all the products that I use too. So get your snacks ready, get ready, because I am a yapper girl. I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a loner, how I've become more comfortable with being by myself, my struggles with keeping friends and making friends. So get comfortable, get your blanket, cozy up, and join me as we flat iron my hair and have some girl talk too. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I'm Sierra. I recently quit my dream job as a news anchor, and now I'm starting over, starting fresh. I'm on a journey of self-discovery and self-love and healing. I'm doing my hair today because why not? It's silk press season. I washed my hair. I'm so weird. I washed my hair like 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? No, I washed my hair yesterday. I washed and blow dried my hair yesterday. But I'm the type of person where I can't do all my hair at once, child. Like, I can't do a wash, a blow dry, and flat iron my hair all at once. But we're using these flat irons that I literally got from TJ Maxx. I don't know. I got these from my mom. I actually am borrowing those from my mom. I'm always borrowing something from my mom and never return it. So when I wash my hair, I use Design Essentials, Avocado something. I'll put it right here. Shampoo and conditioner, and something to treat my scalp too, because my scalp was like so like dry and like itchy, which I think comes from working out and like sweating in my head. I think it's called Nizoral. That'll be right here too. And I also use the Sacred hair drops. I put that in my hair before I wash my hair, like the night before, and I also put it in my hair after I blow dry it. When I blow dried my hair, I went in with this Chi Iron Guard. I sprayed that all throughout my hair and then blow dried it. I used this as well, the Amika. I'll have everything linked below too. But I wanted to talk kind of about, while I do my hair, since I've turned 30, something that I've become so much more comfortable with. I'm doing this wrong. I'll do this. I'm gonna do the back section first. One thing I've become more comfortable with since turning 30 is being a loner. I'm really a person that doesn't really have a whole lot of friends, and I've become comfortable with that. I feel like for some reason, like, I'm the type of person where I have friends for a certain season. So it's like I'll have a friend and we'll be friends for like 2 years, and then we'll like separate. Then I'll have another friend and we'll be friends for like 2 years, and then we'll separate. I see women get married and I'll see them have like the biggest bridal party. Like, they'll have like 10 people in their bridal party, and I'm like, how are you friends with this many people? Or like, how do you even know this many people for you to want to have them in your wedding? Or when people take girls trips, how do you know this many people? If I was to take a girls trip right now, babes, it would be it would be like 2 people, if that, and that's not including my mama. Like, it would probably be like 2 people. Sometimes I used to get like kind of not sad about it, but kind of like jealous a little bit. Like, how do y'all have so many dang on friends? What are y'all doing? Like, what's the secret code to having all these friends? So we're gonna go in with this. I'm back to using this. I haven't used this in a while. I'm gonna use the Chi Silk Infra Infusion. Chi Infra Silk Infusion. If y'all hear click clacking in the background, that's my dog Scruffy. He just refuses to sit down, child. But we're gonna put a little bit of this. I just like do that much, if you can even see, and rub it in my fingers, on my fingers, and just rub it throughout my hair. But I would see girls like take girls trips or like have these big birthday gatherings and things, and it's so many people, and I just be so confused. Like, how do you have so many people that support you and love you like that, you know? Because for me, I feel like with girlfriends, it's just so interesting to me, like, what some people consider to be a friendship and what some people don't consider to be a friendship. And what I've realized about myself and why I know I'm such a loner, it's because I require a lot of depth from my friendships. Like, I require real conversations. I'm not really a surface level person. I never have been. I'm a pretty deep person. Like I think deeply, I see things deeply, I feel things deeply. So I've really never been the type of friend where it can be surface level, because at that point I feel like we're not really friends then. We're just acquaintances, right? If we're just surface level and you just want somebody to hang out with and go out with, that's more of an acquaintance. And I guess with me, I'm also just like so comfortable with being by myself, in the presence, like by myself, going out by myself, hanging out by myself, spending time by myself. I really enjoy my own company. And I've kind of always been like that. I'm going to do a smaller section than this. It's not like I need people to do things with, but of course, it's nice to have somebody to hang out with or do things with. I think another thing too is that, like, I'm super close with my mom. So I do a lot of things with my mom. Like, I hang out with my mom probably more than the average the average 30-year-old. And it's really because my mom is like my best friend. So a lot of things I do with my mom. Like, we have a lot of things in common. Me and my mom both like music. We both like having a cocktail. We both have the same sense of humor. We just have a lot of things in common. So I really enjoy my mom's company. I enjoy hanging out with my mom a lot. But it just seems like with me, I won't say it's hard for me to keep friends, but I notice, like, dang, I be falling out with a lot of people. So it's just always amazing to me how people be like, yeah, we've been friends for 30 years. Like, girl, how are you maintaining that friendship, sister? Now, I do have a best friend who I've been friends with since middle school, but he's a guy. And I also have my closest best friend now, a best friend now, who you've seen in my vlogs multiple times. Her name is Cayman. Me and her have known each other since college. We both were in journalism school. And for us, it was like our friendship, it took time to form. It wasn't like a quick best friendship. We just started being best friends probably like 2 years ago. Yeah, I'll say like 2 years ago, maybe 2023. Or is it 2024? I think it was 2023 where we kind of like took that next step in our friendship. But I think that's another thing too. Like, some people are just so quick to call people their best friend. And with me, babe, if you call yourself my best friend, like, you're going to have to live up to that. You can't just say, oh, I'm your best friend, and we need to have conversations, and you're not able to have a certain type of tough conversation. Or you only want to talk when it's beneficial to you, or you only want to talk about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or you only want to talk about men. That's a whole nother thing. I think being a loner is probably one of the best things for people who are empaths. If you feel things deeply, if you crave like deep connection within friendships, sometimes it's best to just be by yourself. And it's so unfortunate. But I have found that, like, with making friends as an adult, making friends as an adult isn't something that's necessarily hard. Making quality friends as an adult is something that's difficult. But making a friend, it's not hard. I've made friends everywhere I work. As a news anchor, I moved around a lot. So everywhere I worked, I literally made a friend. Like, I'm friends with people till this day that I worked with years ago, or I worked with in different states that I'm still cool with, still like real life friends with, that I might not talk to every day, but we always will have each other's back. And if we need to talk, we always there for each other. So I feel like with me, it's never been like a difficulty making friends. For me, it's been a difficulty keeping friends. And sometimes I think, like, maybe I'm too hard on people. You know, like, maybe sometimes I think maybe I just require too much. But then I come back to reality and I see you don't require too much at all. You want what you want. And the thing is that, like, how some people are like, forgive men but don't forget their friends. I'm not like that. I'm not the type that's gonna forgive a man but won't forgive my friend. I give people chances. That's the thing with me. It's not like, oh, you do one thing and I'm cutting you off. But I feel like a lot of people, I saw something on TikTok the other day that was interesting to me. And it was like, some people would rather never talk to you again than have a tough conversation. And that is so true. I feel like that's how both of my most recent friendships of people who called themselves my best friend, that's how they ended. Because people just refuse to have tough conversations for whatever that reason may be. I think a lot of times it's because people just lack emotional maturity, or some people just don't know how to have healthy confrontation, right? Whereas like people think just because we're talking about something that may be difficult to talk about, that we're mad at each other or we're arguing. Confrontation is not something that is a bad thing. And I think so many people view confrontation as something that's negative when it's like not negative at all. But confrontation isn't something that is a bad thing, but I feel like so many people view it as something that's like this terrible, forbidden, bad thing, that is bad to be like confrontational, or it's bad to have a disagreement with a friend. And to me, real friendship is being able to have a tough talk. You say how you feel, I say how I feel. We find some type of middle ground and we move on from it. And that be the end of it. But some people would rather just push you away, or would rather make you the bad guy in their story than just have a healthy adult conversation. I find that a lot of people don't act like adults when it comes to having to communicate. Like, people act like children, or they act like they don't know how to talk or speak up for themselves. And as somebody who cares deeply and loves their friends very deeply, it hurts me so much when friendships have to come to an end all because certain conversations couldn't be had. But something that I have been learning is that that's just a boundary for me. This here is so good. This is hibiscus and catnip. Okay. I'm starting my cycle soon, so I'm like trying to prepare because my stomach is like already cramping. I just realized that like some people just aren't ready to have tough conversations. And something else I realized was like boundaries, right? Like when people think about boundaries, I think a lot of times people think about like rules. For a long time when I thought about boundaries, I thought about them as rules. And I sent this out in one of my Becoming Circle emails. If you aren't signed up for the Becoming Circle, girl, sign up for the Becoming Circle. It's so tea. I send out reflections, affirmations, things to just help you get through the week. It's a bi-weekly email, so it's really just like a pick-me-up. And one thing that I talked about was boundaries and what it means to have boundaries. We're on our last piece for this last section. And for a long time, I thought about boundaries as like a set of rules that I had to impose onto other people, until I realized that boundaries were standards that I set for myself. They aren't rules. I found that it works better for me when my boundaries are my standards for myself. So a standard that I uphold for myself is I only allow myself to have friendships with people who are clear communicators. So if I try to have a conversation with someone who I consider to be a friend, a best friend, and they are not receptive to the conversation, they're pushing me away, it is not my job to try to force them to have a conversation. It's not my job to try to fix them or heal them, you know? And a lot of times I would try to fix or heal people because I think I secretly had like some type of savior complex or something. Because I would have girls who I would be friends with who maybe had like I don't know, maybe I just felt, a lot of times I just would just feel bad for people. So this is like not pressed, this is pressed, okay? Cute comparison. Not pressed, pressed. But I would like feel bad for people and would be like, well, I would allow people to be victims. Like I would give them like this victim complex. Like, even if they didn't have a victim complex, I would just allow them to be the victim in the story. Where it's like, oh, well, she had a rough upbringing, so that's why she isn't able to communicate. Or, oh, well, she always felt like she was an outcast in her family, so that's why she can't communicate. Oh, well, she didn't grow up with a father figure, so maybe that's why she can't communicate. You know, just like all of these excuses I would make for people. And it did nothing but hurt me in the end. I always ended up being the one that was hurt in the end. Another thing that I can't do is have friendships with people who like are extremely emotionally detached. I think it's really weird for some people to like want quality friendships, but they don't want to treat it like, not saying like treat it like it's your man, but they don't want to pour into the relationship. Like, girl, you can't call somebody your friend and you don't really do much to water the friendship. Especially if one person is the only person that's always planning things. That's an issue. Maybe you should plan something next time, you know? Or if one person is always the one to try to fix everything in the friendship, maybe you shouldn't put in the effort to sometimes try to fix things in a relationship or the friendship. Friendships are relationships. They're not just like these things. Like, they're not just like these Instagram pictures and like TikTok videos. Like, they're not just an aesthetic. Friendships are not just an aesthetic. And I think a lot of people treat friendships as an aesthetic and not a real relationship. And I think that's part of why I kind of struggle with being friends with people. Not being friends, but like considering people my real friend. Like, I don't know. But I am grateful for the friends that I do have, for sure. But I feel like I've said this before kind of, but I've just always been the type of person that has like had friends in seasons. Like, I'll have a friend and then we'll stop being friends, and then I have another friend and then we'll stop being friends. And it's never that something, well, sometimes it has been this, but it's never that something like super crazy happens. One of the biggest lessons that I have been learning, specifically since I've turned 30, is that everything is not meant to stay. I forgot to put the G on this side of my head. But everyone, everything, every situation, every job, every career path, every whatever, it's not always meant to stay in your life forever. And for so long, I just thought that, you know, so many people would still be in my life, or I would still be working a certain type of job, or I would still have the same type of dreams that I had, you know, when I was just 29, you know, just last year. You know, when I was 29, I thought I was getting married to the guy that I broke up with just earlier this year. I thought I was going to marry him. I thought that a best friend that I ended a friendship with last year, I thought that she would be my maid of honor, you know? And it's just so crazy how life changes and how things can change and people can change. And hold on one second. But I found that like nobody was meant to really like stay in your life forever. And like at first I thought of it as being like depressing, but it's really not. I've learned so far at 30 is the ability to release and let go. And it's so funny, today I read part of a passage from this book I was gifted by my therapist. It's called The Pivot Year. I'm gonna read an excerpt out of it. And it's so funny that I kind of segued into talking about this because that was the topic for today. So maybe that's why it's on my heart. It says, letting go is not meant to be easy. It's not supposed to be simple. To unwind your soul from the things that have captured your mind, your time, and your life for so long. You are not supposed to be able to effortlessly and numbly cut things that were once a part of you out and set them free. You are not supposed to separate yourself from what's most essential within your experience. Your willingness to do so is testimony not to your failure nor your inadequacy, but your faith on fire with the knowledge that even still, even here, there's something greater that is waiting to be seen. And I think that is so beautiful, so profound. This is the book, The Pivot Year. It's such a good book. I used to hold on to people so hard. Like, I did not want to let people go. It would be in friendships. It would be in situationships, in relationships. Sometimes in jobs. I would stay at jobs longer than I should have stayed there. You know, just a lot of situations and people. I would hold on to them and just like keep forgiving them and just like keep giving people so many different chances for no reason. But back to what I was saying originally about being comfortable with being a loner. One thing that I implemented that made me more comfortable with being okay with being by myself, or being someone who's like equally introverted and extroverted, where for me it could really go either way, where I can spend time with people but I have to be in the mood to do it, or I can spend time with myself but I have to be in the mood to do it. I'm kind of always in the mood to spend time with myself though. But taking myself on solo dates, this and doing my solo trip. I did my first solo trip this year. I took myself on solo dates, if not every week, every other week for the entire summer. And that really helped me. I've always been a person though that's been okay with going out by themselves because I moved around so much. So I would have to go out by myself to meet new people. Especially when I lived in Iowa. I went out by myself all the time. But I was dating a guy there at the time too. So I went out with him a lot. And then I hung out with my coworkers a lot too. But I went out by myself a whole lot when I was in Iowa. And it kind of amplified once I moved back here to Detroit. Especially after leaving a relationship. I really just wanted to get to know myself better and spend more time with myself. And with spending more time with myself, I realized how much I really enjoy myself and how much I really love myself. Because for so long, I lacked a lot of like self-love. Like, I thought I loved myself, but I didn't love myself the way that I wanted to, the way that I really craved to love myself. So we have the whole back done. We getting through this, y'all. The whole back is done. That's all just one swipe through on 400. And we'll do these two. The top I feel like always goes so fast. So we'll do this and then we'll be done. We halfway done, honey. We halfway done, girl. But I think that was like a difficult thing for me that I'm still learning. Learning to love myself and really what it means to center myself. And I've just recently have learned what it means to really center myself. And I think with being a loner, it's important, especially if you're just now coming to terms with being okay with being by yourself, or being okay with not having a lot of friends, or being okay with like being super okay with like being single and the possibility of like not really wanting to get married or not wanting to have kids. Sometimes it's so difficult because it's so easy to fall into like, you know, societal pressures where you feel like, you know, you should be wanting to get married and wanting to have kids and wanting to have a family. But it's so crazy that whenever I picture my dream life, like, and I envision my dream life, it's always just me. There's never anyone else. And I think I've been like that for a while now. And that's really when I realized that I really am a loner. I really like being by myself. Sometimes I would get envious of like people who, you know, like had the big friend groups or had the big bridal parties and would go on group trips with their girlfriends, or people who would still be friends with their friends that they was friends with since like high school. But I think friendships like that require a lot of tough conversations. I think they require a lot of forgiveness. I think they require a lot, and both people have to be willing to make things work. And for some people, friendships are super easy, you know, like I have some friends who, some things with us, I have one girlfriend, her name is Lenita, and me and her friendship, I adore it so much because it's just so easygoing. And it's partially because I think that's just how our personalities like mesh. Lenita is such like a, she's such a chill, just down to earth girl, you know? And we are the type of friends where we don't have to talk all the time, but that's my girl. And I love those type of friendships where you don't have to talk all the time, but you know that y'all are locked in, period. I got another girlfriend like that who lives in Colorado, Kennedy. And it's the same thing with her. Like, we don't have to talk all the time, but that's my girl. If we ever need anything, we know that we can call it on each other and we can depend on each other. And these are two women that I met while working as a news anchor in two different states. Two different states. Two different news stations in two different periods of my life. And it's a beautiful thing. This summer I was doing a lot of visioning, and a lot of times when I picture my life, I really just picture myself, like me by myself. I don't picture anybody else. Nobody else is really there with me. It's just me, like living in a beautiful condo with like a cat. And I feel like to some people that sounds like so depressing, but to me that sounds like a dream life. And just like having a bomb career. I just always been a career girl too. Like, I don't really desire to like get married. I mean, if it were to happen, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I don't think that getting married has ever been like a lifelong goal of mine. I think it is beautiful when it's done the right way and two people are actually looking for companionship within each other and not just looking for, I don't know, some surface level BS, or just looking to be married. You know, some people just be wanting to be married just to say that they're married. And another thing that I've realized with like not wanting children, that's another thing too, like realizing that you don't want kids. Sometimes I get like sad about it, you know, because I used to want to be a mom, but I was a lot younger then and not as wise. You know, I still have time for my mind to change, and things may change. Things may change, but I just feel like with the way that our world is and the way that things are going with the political climate that we're in, the economic climate that we're in, now it's just not, I don't know, and I don't know when it will be a good time to reproduce with somebody. And for me, reproducing would mean being married. I would prefer, well, not prefer, I don't plan on having a child out of wedlock. Not that being married really means anything if you have a child, because girl, he could leave you as a single mother as well when you marry, or you could just be doing everything. You know what I'm saying? But coming to terms with that and being comfortable with that, I think has really increased my confidence in self, and it's just really increased the love that I have for myself, and just being okay with knowing that, you know what, right now I don't feel like that I want to have kids. Right now I don't really feel like that I want a life partner. I kind of just want to be by myself. I just think, especially with having children, it's just such a big decision, and I think so many people don't really treat it as big of a decision as it is. And I think that I don't even know if there's a choosing right when it comes to having kids. You know what I'm saying? How people be like, well, you gotta choose right. You chose wrong. You know, they love telling women you chose wrong. So, I don't know. I think another reason I'm hesitant on wanting to have children is because, honestly, I'm mentally unstable. And I'm very self-aware of the fact that I am mentally unstable. My mental stability has improved drastically, but I'm mentally unstable. And that's just like the truth. Not saying that I won't ever become mentally stable, but for me, I am not stable mentally. So I don't even know, like, if I would be able to handle having a child. You know what I'm saying? Girl, sometimes I could barely handle myself. Let alone a baby. Then just the patience that is required with children. So, who knows though? Things may change. It's just so interesting too with like dating. So many men want to have kids. I feel like every man that I go out with, date, they all want kids. So it's like, that's another thing too, where it's like, where are the men that don't want children? Or like on the fence, you know, like, oops. Girl, I'm about to wipe this eyelash off. Where are the men who like aren't 100% on having kids? All right, y'all, we almost done. Y'all, we soaking her out. We soaking her out. She getting silked or whatever. Yeah. Where are the men that don't want to have kids, child? All these men want to have kids. Where are the men that don't want to have childrens? Do they exist, girl? I don't know. Then I'll start talking to a guy and be like, yeah, I don't really know if I want to have kids. And they'll be like, well, you get with me, I'm going to change your mind. Babes, you're not going to change anything. I hate when people try to tell me they're going to change my mind. No, you're not. Okay. This is flat ironed. This is not flat ironed. Flat ironed, not flat ironed. Flat ironed, not flat ironed. This is cute though, actually. It's so funny because this is just my hair blow dried. And it was in that little knot overnight. But this is cute, honey. This is a cute hairstyle. Dang. I should have just wore my hair like this. But the thing with me is this will fall in like 2 seconds. That's just the type of hair I have. But that's another thing too. Like, girl, all these men want kids. And I'm just like, baby, I don't know about that. Then it's so interesting to me how some men just be like so sure that they're going to convince you to have a child. Another thing about me, I'm not having a man, I'm not having a child for a man. Like, just because my man wants a child, I'm going to have one. Baby, this is my body. And you can leave when you want. Fatherhood is too optional. Fatherhood is extremely too optional. It's so optional. Where it's like, a man can wake up and be like, you know what? Actually, I don't even want to do this no more. I'm out of here. And be done. That's tough. That's real tough. Because what do you mean by that? What do you mean you don't want to be a dad anymore? I think that's so crazy. But I have so much respect for moms. I have so much respect for women who are mothers and wives. Because, girl, I don't know how the heck you do it. Living with a man is one thing. Living with a man and a child, Lord Jesus. Sometimes they're one and the same. The man is the child. So, I just hear so many horror stories about women having to pick up behind men, and the men don't want to do no housework. They don't want to look after the kids. They call, when they watching their kids, what they call being with their children, watching their kids or babysitting. Like, babes, that's your child. It's not babysitting when it's your child. It's your child. So that's another thing for me too. Outside of me like being mentally unstable and being self-aware with that, I think like fatherhood is just extremely too optional. Like, being a father is so optional. Way more optional than it is to me than being a mom. It's like, if you a deadbeat mom, girl, flat iron came off. Let's turn it back on. You a deadbeat mom, baby, you're going to hell. But it's like more, I feel like it's more socially, and it shouldn't be. I think absent fathers need to get shamed more. But I think it's more socially acceptable for men to be bad parents than it is for women to be bad parents. Like, I mean, it makes sense because people think of women as supposed to have like this innate like maternal instinct, but some women don't have that. Some women have children and don't have any type of maternal instinct, which is a whole nother conversation. But it's always just been so interesting to me how, like, when I do think of my dream life, there's no one there but me. And I've always just admired the women who, first of all, I just love older women for one. I've always admired older women. But I've always admired the older women who, like, never had kids, never got married, and just lived their life. Traveled, had little friends. I love an older woman that keep a little friend. A little friend, Mr. James, Mr. Earl. He don't stay in that house, child. He come over and visit. Maybe you'll see him sometimes during the holidays. But that's about it. And that was their little friend. And that was it. They didn't fall into the societal pressure or idea that you have to do this, or you have to be married, or you have to have children, you have to do these things. It's so interesting to me because I come across more women who don't want children than I come across men who don't want children. I feel like every man I know wants kids. And it's so interesting to me. Or already has children. Or already have them. But it's like a lot of women are opting out of having children. A lot of women opting out of even dating anymore. Like, a lot of women don't even want to date anymore. Okay, we are almost done. I told y'all the front is like, I don't know why, but it seems like it goes by so much faster. Yeah. Again, this is on 400. And we're almost done, so. But being comfortable with being a loner and being alone wasn't something that was easy. I feel like I have gone through so much heartbreak and heartache. And I feel like that's just like the theme of my life. Like, the theme of my life is like having to go through things and like getting my heart broken down, being betrayed. I feel like betrayal is like the theme of my life. I've been betrayed so many times. And it's really not funny, but it has just made me so much more resilient. And that's like another thing too. It's like that's another thing that God has for my life, resiliency. Where God is like, you know what? Things ain't gonna necessarily be easy for you, baby girl. But you're gonna be strong. It ain't gonna be easy. But you'll be my strongest soldier. I'm tired of being your strongest soldier. I wrote down the other day, we can wrap this up now. When is this phase of my life going to end? Like, come on. And another thing that I've realized is like with dating, I've said this before, but it's just so interesting to me how so many men want kids. And it's like, thing they have with leaving a legacy. Like, what legacy are you talking about? You don't even have nothing. What do you think you about to leave behind? Nothing. Nothing at all. But being comfortable with being by yourself and being a loner. Shout out to all my loner girls out there. Shout out to all my girls who don't necessarily have the big friend groups or, you know, even have a lot of friends at all. Shout out to my girls that only got like 3 friends. You know, it's funny because I was talking to one of my friends when I was in Chicago, my friend Lanita, and she was telling me about how she has like so many amazing friendships, and she does. And I was telling her, like, girl, I'm so jealous, like, and she has like genuine people around her. Like, she just attracts genuine people, and I feel like I attract genuine people too, but I feel like I don't attract as many genuine people, you know? And it's just so interesting to me, like how some people just really attract a lot of genuine people. That's a blessing. That's such a blessing. That's not everybody's life story. And it's not my life story. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. With being betrayed, and it has just made me a lot more aware. It's taught me a lot of things about myself. And it's just like opened my third eye a lot more. Where I I won't say I'm more cautious, but I'm more cautious, for lack of a better word, with certain friendships, you know, like just spotting red flags early. So I'm not even the type of person where I feel like, oh, that's another thing too, where I feel like girls would be like, oh, well, I don't attract a lot of girls that want to be friends with me because they're jealous of me. I'm not even that type of girl. I don't think that everybody don't want to be your friend because they're jealous of you. Or this thing where everybody talk about monitoring spirits. I don't think that everybody's hating on you. Or I don't think that everybody's like even really thinking about you. Honestly, I think a lot of times some of us just lack compatibility. And that's okay. Friendship is about compatibility just as much as romantic relationships are about compatibility. Some people you just won't be compatible with. And some people just not gonna like you, girl. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Alright, let's get this part straight. Now that everything is flat ironed. Oof. Hold on, y'all. Yup. We got our part. Now I like to go through this one more time. I've been feeling the middle part, y'all. I'm usually a side part girly. I'm a middle part. I'm doing the middle part. I'm usually a side part girly, but I've been on the middle part heavy. So I'm going to go in with some more of this. Hopefully you can see it, y'all. I'm going to go in with some more of that and work that just through my hair before I go through it again. And low-key, I think I'm going to use a little Amika too. The heat protectant. Just a little bit. A little more. For the other side, a little more Amika. I ain't do this one more time. But I kind of just rambled in this video. I'm a yapper. I just talk. It's that news anchor thing. And I've always just been a talker ever since I was a kid. I talk a lot. But shout out to all my girls that struggle making friends or keeping friendships. Shout out to all my girls who require, or not require, but like crave deep connection within their friendships. Shout out to all my girls who feel things deeply and aren't a part of that I don't give a F club. Like, shout out to my girls who actually really care. Shout out to my lover girls. To my girls out there who really care about their friends and love their friends and just want to be around solid women. You're not alone. It's hard out here, girl. It's hard out here. It's hard out here. But one thing that we always have to know, quality will always outbeat quantity. Just because you got a lot of friends don't mean that you got a lot of quality friends. And I'd rather have 2, 3, 4. I'd rather have 2 solid friends that I know are really for me and love me for me and not for what I can do for them or the aesthetic of it or how I look or, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's really genuinely care about me and love me and appreciate me. So I'm grateful for my girls that I do have. I love y'all so much, and I always will. But maybe one day I'll have me a little friend group. Every time I try to do a friend group, it don't work. Like every single time I try to do the friend group thing, it just never works. For whatever reason, friend groups just do not work for me. I don't know why. Because I be wanting friend groups to work for me so bad. I've always wanted to have friends like they did on Girlfriends. Even though they low-key wasn't good friends to each other, I always wanted like the whole Girlfriends type of vibe, you know? Where it's like a group and we just all like love each other and support each other and come to each other's houses and like have sleepovers and hang out. It seemed like it was so much easier when we were kids. Probably because life was so much easier when we were kids. But we are done. Let's get that a little bit. We're done. This is my hair flat ironed. That's how I flat iron my hair, y'all. It ain't really nothing to it but to do it. Thank you. Let's put some gloss on to finish up the look. I'm really getting older because I went and got me a fanny pack. And not even a cute one. Baby, I'll be wearing this fanny pack down, okay? I'll be wearing the fanny pack down. A little gloss to top it off. And then we'll do this. This is the Canva Silkening Mist. I love this stuff. I like to put it on at the end just to seal it all up. This is our hair flat ironed. Cute. Just spray it, 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 spray it. Okay. And we're done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and watch some of my other videos, please. And also don't forget to protect your mind, protect your energy, and protect your peace. I love you. Hey, we silked out now, girl. Now she feeling herself. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.